Hello. Well, so this is, I guess, my first official video. I made a couple of others for my channel, but let's be honest, gotta just jump into it sometimes for it to work out. So my name is Socrates Little. My channel's name is The Sincere Philosopher, and I've been wanting to actually do something with this channel instead of it just being something for me to just say I'm going to do, but I never do. It's been over a year since I posted my first video, so that's fun. But I think it's something that would be good for me. And a lot of people enjoy videos, so I'm curious to see how this turns out. One thing I'm wanting to do with this channel is to be able to explore ideas, test their merits, but still recognize the value that people have and the reasoning that they could have behind it. Now, obviously, since I just started out, it's not going to be something that I'm going to have a lot of people on, because for the moment, until people notice my channel, I'm going to be talking to a camera, so that'll be fun. But I am curious to see how it turns out, because it's not the end of the world if I just create a very extensive video diary system. Yeah. It would be Jeff Kinney's video diary of a Wimpy Kid, I guess you would say, so that would be fun. Poor Greg Heffley. But it's important sometimes to, well, for me especially, to be able to hash things out, because I've always enjoyed a good discussion, being able to go over ideas that I never really took the time to understand. But now that I am trying to put this into place, I imagine it could turn out pretty well. Now, obviously, new to this, it's going to take some time to be to get used to the system and be to figure out how it would work in my case. But you never know. It could turn out pretty fun. I have some ideas of little, I wouldn't call them skits, but fun ideas I would like to put in place. I don't know exactly how they'll turn out, but not the end of the world. You know what's fun about all this, though? All of this is happening live, essentially, on my part, and I don't have a script for it at all. But I imagine it's going to be pretty fun for me. If I'm rambling, sorry, but I want to try to see if I can meet that 10-minute threshold, which you know YouTube loves. I don't know why exactly, but apparently if it's a quarter of an episode that you see on TV, it's good enough for YouTube, I guess. So that's what we're going to try to aim for. So, a bit about me. Grew up with quite a few siblings, but not much extended family, so that's interesting. The dynamic that not exactly alone, but not exactly smothered by family, so I don't know if I'll bring that up in a future video, but it's an interesting enough topic to eventually at least consider talking about. But one thing I've always recognized is that there's always value in hearing people out and understanding where they're coming from, because even though they may not have a good understanding of how their idea works, they at least have they put in the time and energy to come to that conclusion. So it deserves to be heard for at least a little while. Even if it might not be the best idea, it's still worth a chance to be able to have it heard, because today there are people that are starting to recognize this and grow in that aspect, but there's always going to be somebody that's going to be dismissive of an idea, and we can't have that anymore, unfortunately. I'm not saying that we should have ever been dismissing ideas, but there's no real way for anybody to be to do that anymore, and that's just the nature of it. Now, I'm trying to think. Yeah, you can see here, pure, unfiltered, raw content. Yeah. I don't know how I want to make this channel be, but one thing I've recognized is that people say they're going to do things and they don't, and I'm going to try to do different by that case. I've always enjoyed stories. Grew up reading so many books. I wouldn't say that I've read every series out there, but I've read a good amount. On my phone, as it is, I already have like 80 books saved to my phone with like 15 different series. Half of them I've read, half of them I've been wanting to read, and then I have a 3,003 volume book set of the Middle Earth series of Middle Earth, History of Middle Earth, if you're familiar with it. The only person that I've known to be a big fan of it besides myself, they're celebrities, so I don't know if there's anybody out there that's a big Lord of the Rings fan, but haven't really had. I even bought War of the Ring, the board game, but I haven't had the time to play it, which has really been sad. It's a massive game, basically covering the entire story of Lord of the Rings in a game, but it's like a 6-hour game to play, so it's basically Risk, but with elves, dwarves, and orcs. So that's it's. I can't wait till I can finally play that. But one thing I've always wanted to do is be able to talk with people about things. These odd ideas, these interesting ideas that I've had running around. I've wanted to make stories. I've wanted to make them in any way I can. So I guess I'll use this as a practicing ground for that, so that'll be fun. But if by chance anybody watches this first video, well, first, I guess you say official video, and has any ideas for any topics they'd be interested in me talking about, put it in the comments. It's weird for me to say that because I've seen so many YouTubers say that kind of stuff, but I mean, let's be honest. I'm going to be reading the comments because there's probably going to be 5 if I'm lucky in a video, so I'm kind of excited about that. Now, I know this isn't that entertaining or high value for somebody to watch close to 10 minutes. You don't. I'm basically just doing this to see if I could sustain a 10-minute string of sentences out of nowhere. But it also does help that what's currently going on in the world is allowing me a bit of time to be able to be like, yeah, no, you have the time finally. Take advantage of it, please. But I think one thing I would like to try is to do like a 24-hour book challenge where I find a book or somebody suggests a book to me and I read it. I'm given 24 hours to read it and post a video responding, like whether it's topics in it, the story, reviewing it, however it needs to go. But I'm really curious to see what this could turn into. I've always had ideas, but I never committed to them because, well, when you're a very enthusiastic student growing up and you're surrounded by people that aren't as enthusiastic, it makes it difficult for you to have a sense of when an idea is good or bad or if it even should be approached. And I use this as kind of a filter in a sense, to where this allows me the opportunity to be able to just go through the concepts, put them together into a video, just have people give me their feedback on what they think about it. Because there's too many people out there right now, and I'm not saying there's a lot of people, but there are too many for what usually occurs, telling people you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be saying that. Now, there's good reason behind those, but if it's just an immediate shutdown, it doesn't help. And maybe that's just because of our generation. We've had such access to the internet that's allowed for us to be able to have this massive growth in discourse, but I'm curious to see how it plays out. Anyways, I think that's enough for right now. I will see you. Wait, almost. Awesome. I will see you guys later.